Okay. Okay, am I audible now? There was some problem with the audio, I believe. Am I audible now, guys? Type yes in the chat box if you're able to hear me. Okay, that's perfect. The audio is fine. Great. So let's look at the agenda for today's session. So what we're going to do today is we are going to have a live quiz, which is going to go parallel to this session. And if it is the first time you're attending the session at George Prep, please click the link, the first link that you see in the description of this video, where it will take you to our dashboard, where you will see under live quizzes, there is a live quiz for today called subject verb agreement live quiz. And that is the quiz we're going to do in today's session. So what we'll do is we will do the quiz and the discussion parallelly. So you'll be attempting a question there and we'll come back and discuss it here. And we'll go to the quiz and come back. So it will be a to and fro between the quiz and the discussion. So I'll wait for you guys to finish each question. So each question has a given time window within which you'll have to answer. And you'll be able to see each question also has some amount of points. So once you get the question right, you get the point. And if you happen to get the question within the window, let's say you save good amount of time and still get the question right, you will get some bonus points as well. So that's how the point system is going to work. Today we will get to know the leaderboard standings after every question. So you got to compete. Some questions initially are going to be slightly easy, I believe, especially if you have attended the concept sessions that we had on subject verb agreement. But towards the end we have some slightly tricky ones. Let's see how many of you can get most of them right at least. Okay, so please log in to georgeprep.com/dashboard if you haven't yet. And in case you're watching this as a recorded video and you are not there in the live session, you would still be able to carry along fine without taking the live quiz, because I'll also be flashing the questions on the screen. So you should still be able to carry along fine. But if you're there in the live session, I will strongly suggest try to take the live quiz to see where you stand with respect to the competition. Okay, don't worry if it is your first class. Someone is saying this is your first class. Don't worry. I will be explaining some of the rules also when we solve the questions. But if you go through the concept session that we have on sentence correction, subject verb agreement, you will get complete clarity on why certain answers are the way they are. But I will also try to explain almost every question. I will try to explain what is the rule behind it and why it is going in a particular way. So you should be able to understand. Don't worry about it. Great. So now I believe you guys have all reached the upcoming live quizzes page. Click on start and it will show you the marking scheme. And if it says waiting for the quiz master to start, then you're all set. So in case you're waiting for the quiz master to start, and if you reach that stage, please type Q. So I will know that you guys have reached there and we are good to go. Great. So I see a good number of people giving a response, which means you are good to go. So let's start this now. Right? So I'm going to start the first question in the quiz. The first question is up in the quiz. It is also up here. Try solving this question. You'll have to give your answer like 2, 1, 1 or 1, 2, 2 and so on. "25 more seconds on the screen. I'm going to wait for the on-screen timer to come to 0. Post that, we will start the discussion. Okay, someone is asking how to join the quiz. Please click the first link that you will see in the description of this video on YouTube. the first link right below the video, you'll be able to see a link which takes you to the dashboard. Once you visit our dashboard, you'll be able to see under live quizzes, we have a quiz named subject verb agreement. Once you click that, click start, and then you'll be into the quiz. You'll have to click on start attempt in the quiz to see what is there in the question. Otherwise, you won't be able to see it. It'll all be gibberish for you. You have to click on start attempt. That's when it starts recording the time that you take to answer the particular question. Okay, now that the time is up for the first question, let's see what is the status of the leaderboard. Great. So we have Sandeep on top, followed by Vinay, Kiranmai, Riddhi, and so on. Great, great. Good show. Let's see how to solve this question. So the question is asking us to find out the appropriate words here. That is whether we should go for, just give me a minute, guys. Okay, the question is asking us to pick the appropriate words here as to whether we should go for 1 or 2. So each question has these two options, right? Sorry, each statement has these two options. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I'll have to pick up which of them is appropriate. So the first statement, the man with all his birds live or lives on my street. Now, this with all his birds just adds to the main subject here. The main subject is the man. So that is singular. So we should go with a singular verb. So as the man is singular, I should go for a singular verb which is lives. So it should be 2 for the first one. The movie, including all the previews, again, the movie is the main subject here. So that is also singular. So I should go with the singular verb here. So I'll have to go with takes. The players, which is the main verb, sorry, which is the main subject here, as well as the captains is just adding to it. So the players is the main subject here, which is plural. So I'll have to go with the plural verb. So I'll have to go with want and not wants. So based on the main subject, we pick up the verb forms. So lives, which is 2, takes, which is also 2, and want, which is 1. So 2 to 1 is the answer for this question. Please type C if everybody is clear with why we are going with 2 to 1 for this question. I'm looking for some responses from people in the live session. That tells me that you guys have understood and I can move forward to the next question. Great. Let's move to the next question. The second question is coming up in the quiz. The second question is up in the quiz. It's also up on your screen here. Okay, the time is up. Let us see what is the status of the leaderboard after you have attempted this question. Okay, there is a considerable shift in the leaderboard. Let's see how we can solve this one. George and Tamara. So when you use and here to connect two subjects, it automatically becomes a plural subject. Okay, so this whole thing is plural. So it requires a plural verb form. So doesn't is a singular verb form. Do not or don't is the plural verb form. So I'll have to choose don't in the first statement. Benito. So I have only one person here. So this is singular. So I'll have to go with doesn't and not don't. One of my sisters, whenever you have this one of my, first thing you have to understand is one of my is always followed by plural. You cannot say one of my sister or one of my friend. It has to be one of my sisters, friends, and so on. So one of my is always followed by, not just one of my, one of is always followed by plurals. So one of my friends or one of the teachers or one of the players and so on. And the moment you put a one of in front of this, it makes the whole thing singular. Okay, it makes the whole thing singular. So I'll have to go for a singular verb form here. So I'll have to go with is and not with are. So we have to go with 2, 1, 1. The answer for this is 2, 1, 1 for this question. Type C if you're clear with how you got the answer as 2, 1, 1, 1 and what is the logic behind getting it as 2, 1, 1. Perfect. Let's move to the next question in the quiz. The third question is up in the quiz. Someone is asking everybody or everyone is singular or plural. It is singular. Okay, the time is up. Let's see what is the status of the leaderboard at the end of this. There is some change in the leaderboard. Great. Let's see how to solve this one. Either answer, when you say either answer, it makes the subject singular. So either answer is singular. So we have to go for a singular verb form. So I'll have to go with is. Every one of anything you say after that, the main subject is going to become singular. Although you see books, which is plural here. When you put every one of, the whole subject here is a singular subject. Everyone, anyone, all these things will make them singular. So we have a singular subject here because I have every. So I'll have to go for a singular verb form, which is again is. Nobody also makes the subject singular. Okay, so nobody makes the subject singular. So I'll have to go with knows and not know because I need a singular verb form. So is and knows, that is 1, 1 and 2. So 1, 1, 2 should be the answer for this question. Type C if you're clear with why we're going with 1, 1, 2 for this question. Although books is plural, when you say every one of those books, the subject becomes singular. Perfect. Let's move to the next question in the quiz. The fourth question in the quiz is up. And it is also up on your screen here. Well, the time is up. let's see what is the status of the leaderboard. And let's see how to solve the question. Annie and her brothers, you're using and here to connect two subjects, so that makes the overall subject plural. So the whole thing is plural. So I'll have to go for the plural form. Annie and her brothers are at school. Either my mother or my father. Whenever you see an either or structure, you'll have to look at the subject that is closer to your verb. So in this case, it is my father, it is singular. So I'll have to go with a singular verb form. I'll have to look at the subject that is closer to my verb. So my father is singular. So I have to go with is coming to the meeting. Either my shoes or your coat. Again, we have an either or here. So I'll have to look at the subject that is closer, which is coat. It is singular. So I'll have to go with singular form again. So 2, 1 and 1 is the answer for this question. Type C if you're clear with how we got 2, 1, 1 for this question. Great. Let's move to the next question in the quiz. The fifth question is up in the quiz. It is also up on your screen here. If the fifth question is not loaded for you, please refresh your page. Generally, it loads by itself. If the fifth question is not loaded, please refresh your page once it will load. Someone is asking a doubt when to use are in either. I will discuss when we start the discussion of this question. Okay, the fifth question's time is up. This is the beginning of our slightly tricky questions. Let's see how many of you would have got this right. Okay, a few of you have got it right. Okay, someone is asking me, sir, and now it is showing question 5. Yes, we are doing question 5 right now. Great. So let's see, there was a doubt which someone was asking. Let's first discuss that and then we will move to the discussion of this question. So someone was asking when to use are in either. So when you have an either or situation, let's say either some subject or some other subject, and you have to choose some verb form for it. Okay. Now you have to look at what comes here that is closer to the verb, what is the subject, and that subject will dictate whether the verb is going to be plural or singular. So let's say either I'm just going to fill this now. Either the captain or the members of the team. Let's say it goes like this. Either the captain or the members of the team. And then after that, I have something like this. Is or are required for the toss. Either the captain or the members of the team is or are required for the toss. So what will be the answer in this case? Either the captain or the members of the team is or are required for the toss. So what will be the answer in this case? Should we go for is or should we go for are? Either our rule is very simple. You got to look at the subject that is closer to your verb form. So I have my verb forms here, is or are. So I'll have to see closer to this whether the subject is singular or plural. In this case, the members of the team, definitely it is plural. So I'll have to go with are. So that's when we use are in an either or sentence. Is that clear? Someone was asking this doubt. Great. Now let's move forward to answering this specific question. Let's see how we can answer this one. If I was or were you, I would heed my father's advice. Okay, now what's happening here is we are looking at, this is what you call subjunctive mood, where you're looking at commands, wishes, or suggestions. Commands, requests, wishes, suggestions, etc. Now, these things will come under subjunctive mood. In that case, you will go with the plural form of the verb and not the singular form of the verb. So this is a wish, right? If I were you, I would heed my father's advice. So I'll have to go with were and not was. So answer for the first one should be 2. That's the answer for the first one. And it is crucial that Scott finds a legal advisor. Now, this is a suggestion, right? It is crucial that this thing happens. So I should go for the, although if you just have this, Scott finds might make sense. But because it is given as a suggestion, I should go for Scott find a legal advisor. So I should go for find and not finds because we have a subjunctive mood in this situation. It is necessary that the guard, so this is also speaking of a condition or a suggestion or a request, right? So it is necessary that the guard dash the office closed till we inform otherwise. Keep the office closed, not keeps. Although guard is singular, we'll have to go with keeps because of the subjunctive mood. So look out for these situations. When you have a command, request, or a suggestion or a wish, you got to go for the plural form of the verb. So that leaves us with 2, 1, and 1 for this one. Type C if you're clear with why we're going with 2, 1, and 1 for this question. Because of the subjunctive mood. I've discussed this in detail in the concept session also. So in case you attended the concept session that I took for subject verb agreement, you will be able to understand how these things actually work. Okay, let's move to the 6th question now. The 6th question is up in the quiz. Someone is asking keywords for subjunctive mood. So subjunctive mood tells about things which are contrary to what is actually true and things which are requests or commands. So you'll have to see whether the statement sounds like a request or command or something that is contrary to what is true. Something like, if I were the prime minister, I would have done that. Now, definitely I'm not the prime minister. That's why I'm making that statement. So that tells that it is contrary to what is true. So these cases come under subjunctive mood. Okay, you'll have to look at the context of the sentence. Okay, Vinay is facing some glitch today. I'll have to sort it only after the session. So you try refreshing and see if it works. If not, I'll get in touch with you after the session, Vinay. Great, the time is up. Slowly, the trickier ones are coming up in the quiz. Let's see how you guys respond to them. Okay, there is a huge shift in the leaderboard. Okay, let's see how we can solve this one. Some of the books on the table belongs or belong to me. Okay, so these words, some, any, all, most, these words. Now, it depends on what they are coming with. So in this case, they're coming with books which is countable. They can also come with things which are not countable, like let's say some of the water got wasted. Okay, so they can also come with something which is not countable. So the rule here is, if these things are going to come with countables, we go for plural. When they go for uncountables, we go for singular. Some of the milk is still available, okay, or most of the milk is left in the refrigerator. Okay, great. So that's how you solve. So in this case, some of the books is definitely countable, so I should go for plural. So some of the books on the table, I cannot go for belongs, I'll have to go for belong. That is the plural verb form. So I'll have to go for belong for the first one. Next, according to the police, the killer of the boys in both the incidents is or are probably. Now the subject here is killer of the boys, which is singular. So I'll have to go for a singular verb form. I'll have to go with is. Next, one of the recent researchers, again, when you say one of, it's generally followed by plural, but the whole subject takes a singular sense. Okay, so one of the recent researchers suggests, we have to go for the singular form of the verb. So suggests that playing games like football and cricket increases or increase. Okay, so what is the subject here? Playing games like football and cricket. So playing games is my subject. So that playing, so that act you're speaking about, which is again singular, that act of playing games is singular. So I should go for playing games like football and cricket increases the thinking abilities of school students. So let's see what will be the answer in that case. We start with to or are belong, and then is, suggests, and increases. So 2, 1, 1, 1 should be the answer for this question. Type C if you're clear with why we are going with 2, 1, 1, 1 for this question. Great. Let's move forward to the next question in the quiz. We are moving to the 7th question in the quiz. Just give me a minute. Yeah, the 7th question is up in the quiz. Great. The time is up. Let's see how to solve this one. Before that, the status of the leaderboard. Okay. there was some change, but there is no change on the top. Okay, let's see how to solve this one. Almost all of water. So we just saw this in another question. Almost all, some, all, most. These are all indefinite pronouns. Means you don't know exactly what you're speaking about. You're speaking about something, but not in specific, right? So these indefinite pronouns, when they come with countables, they require some kind of a verb. When they come with uncountables, they require some other kind of verb. So when they come with countables, we go for plural verb. When they come with uncountables, we go for singular verb. Okay, so in this case, almost all of water is not countable, so we go for the singular, which is. Next, both of, again, if you see both, it's going to make it plural. Okay, both, many, few, a few, all these things are going to make the subject plural. So here my subject is plural, so I should go for both of you know what needs or need. So it's like this needs to be done, right? So here when you say what, it is a proxy for some one particular thing that has to be done. So this is singular, so we go with what needs to be done. Okay, I can stay here. My family, again, family is a collective noun, but it is treated as singular depending upon how the context is. Okay, like family, committee, jury and all that, depending upon the context, you either give it a singular or a plural sense. So as long as you're dealing with things like family, jury and all that, audience and all. Now, if they are treated as one unit, you go for a singular verb form. If they're treated as one unit, okay. If they're treated as things which are happening within the unit, then if it is treated within the unit, if the context is within the unit, let's say people are quarreling or something, then you go for plural form for collective nouns like family, jury, audience and all that. So I can stay here, my family lives nearby. So you're speaking about family as a unit living somewhere, right? So we can say lives, because as one unit, we'll have to go for singular in this case. Okay, so what should be the answer in that case? Let's see. One, which is, and the next one is no, because I had both. So again, one. What needs to be done, because what is singular in that case, so that is also one. I can stay here, my family lives, which is two. So 1, 1, 1, 2 is the answer for this question. Type C if everybody is clear with why we went with 1, 1, 1, 2 for this question. Okay, I'm just giving a break before we move to the next question, so hang on here. Someone is telling the on-screen timer and the timer is not matching while you're explaining. My quiz timer starts running. Okay, so what happens is there is a bit of lag in YouTube. So what generally is expected is, although you're doing it in ultra low latency situation, you will still see there is at least around 5 seconds lag. If your internet connection is not good, you could even see a 10 seconds lag. That is, after I say something, in the next 10 seconds only, you will get to hear what I'm saying. But when I move to questions in the quiz, when I move here almost instantaneously, you will see that your screen also has changed, right? So you might see a lag between the timer that you see in the video here and the timer that you're going to see in your quiz. So up to 10 seconds lag is normal. 5 seconds is kind of normal. Up to 10 seconds, you can still say it is normal. Anything beyond that, you might have to refresh once and check whether you have good internet connection and so on. So that's why I've given a slightly greater amount of time for the questions. So even with, let's say, 10 or 20 seconds here and there, you should still be able to solve these questions. These questions are not the ones which should take a lot of time. So you will still be able to solve these questions. So that's about the lag. And coming to the session itself, okay, I could see close to some 62 of you are there. So if you are liking the way the session is going, don't forget to like the video here because it helps us to reach a lot of students. So do smash the like button right now if you haven't smashed it yet, and do subscribe to this channel. You will start getting updates about the regular videos that we upload in the channel. Okay, so do subscribe and like this video in case you are liking the way the session is going. Great. Now let's move forward to the next question in the quiz. The 8th question is up in the quiz. Great. The time is up. Let's see what is the status of the leaderboard at the end of this question. Okay, there is some change on the top. Let's see what is the logic behind solving this question. A few of these products, when you say a few of something, it makes your subject plural. So I have a plural subject here. So I'll have to go for a plural verb, which is have. Few of these products have been identified to be smuggled goods. The police is always followed by are. The police is taken as singular unless you say the policeman. The police is always taken as the police is always taken as plural. It will be taken as singular if you take it as policeman. So the police are investigating. Okay? The police is plural. Okay? The police are investigating the matter. The owner of the establishment, along with his employees, again, along with his employees, is just adding extra information to the main subject, which is the owner of the establishment. The main subject is singular, so you'll have to go with singular form. Okay. Apparently, only half of the information that the police, again, you have police, so you'll have to go for plural. Police have. Only half the information the police have is or are. So now what is the subject for that? The information is the subject for this is or are. Right? Information is the subject for is or are. So information in this case is not something that you can count. So this becomes singular. I go for is here. So what do we get? The first one is 2. So 2, 1, 1. So what do we, just give me a minute. So we have got 2, 1. Only half the information that the police have is correct. Okay, so it is 2, 1, 1 and 1. So we have Why is police not treated the same as family? Okay, see, certain things about language is slightly different. What happens is we have rules for language, but what we do is we look at how it is generally used in the language. Based on that, the rules are made. So whenever police is used, police is generally taken as plural only. It's one of those quirks of the language, you can say. Okay, so 2, 2, 1, 1 and 1 should take us to the answer. Okay, some of you kept 2, 2, 1, 1 and 1 and got the answer wrong. Okay, let me correct. Maybe the official answer in the quiz is wrong. Okay, so 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1 and 1 is correct. There is nothing wrong there. Okay, that is correct. Yeah, if you got it wrong, maybe the answer in the quiz is wrong. I'll reset that one. Don't worry about it. So if you got it right, you can pat yourself that you actually got the question right. Okay, so 2, 2, 1, 1, 1 is correct. Right? See if you're clear with why we're going with 2, 2, 1, 1, 1 for this question. Great. Let's move forward to the next question. Is question number 9 up already? Yes, it is up. If it is not up, just refresh your screens. You should be able to see question number 9 on your screen. Someone is asking, the owner and employees don't become plural. If it is owner and employees, it is plural. If it is the owner as well as the employees, then owner becomes the main subject. Okay, if it is owner and the employees, that is plural. Okay, the time is up. Let's see the status of the leaderboard. Okay, let's see how we can solve this question. A number of employees. Okay, this is something that I've discussed in the concept class also. A number and the number. So when you have a number of something, this is plural. The number of something, in that case you're speaking about the number, so it is singular. You're speaking about the number like 20, 25 or something like that. So in that case it is singular. So a number of something is plural, the number of something is singular. So here we have a number of employees, so I should go for the plural form. So I should go for were in that case. Some of the books, okay, these ones, some, most and all that, all these ones, it depends on whether it is countable or uncountable. So if it is coming with countable nouns, we go with plural. If they are coming with uncountable nouns, then we go with singular. So some of the books, in this case, it is some of the books. So you have a clear, you have a clear case of countable that is given here. So you go with plural in this case. So some of the books are unavailable right now. Now, most of the book, in this case, what happens is you have a countable, but that is singular in this case. You have a countable, which is singular in this case. I'm not having books here. I'm having book. So in that case, I'll have to go for is. Okay, most of the book is, okay, there is an is here also, is written in English. So that would make sense because although book is countable, I have book in the singular in this case. So it speaks about part of the book. Most of the milk, okay, most of the is coming with uncountable. In which case I should go with singular. So most of the milk distributed has gone bad. However, 10 gallons of milk, now here 10 gallons of something. Now this is plural. 10 gallons of something is plural because you speak about 10 gallons, 5 gallons, 6 gallons and so on. So 10 gallons of something is plural. In that case, I should go with are. Okay. So what will be our order? 1, 2, 1, 1 and 2. So 1, 2, 1, 1 and 2 will be the order for this one. Type C if you're clear with why we're going with 1, 2, 1, 1, 1. Sorry, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2 for this one. Great. Let's move to the last question for today's quiz, which will finalize the leaderboard standings. Let's see how many of you can get that question right. The last question is up in the quiz. It's up on your screen here as well. Gallons of milk should be single, right? No. When you say most of milk, okay, when you say most of, almost, so you're not clearly saying how much of it, right? In that case, you can say it will become singular. But when you say 10 gallons of something, you're being very specific about how much it is. So the sense itself becomes different from what we deal with in terms of most of and some of. 10 gallons is very clear as to what you're saying. So in that case, you're clearly able to count things there. 10 gallons. 1 gallon, 2 gallon and so on. So if you have something like 10 gallons of milk, that will become plural. Okay, so 10 gallons, that makes the whole thing plural. When I say some of the milk, it's not clear how much of the milk, right? That's why we go with a singular in that case. Is that clear, Dakshina? Is your doubt clarified? Yeah, if you say fraction of a gallon, then it is going to be singular. $10 is taken as a single unit. Money, see, that's money. Money, distance and all, money, distance, time will be taken as a single unit. $10 is, so those are three things that we discussed. Okay, $10, money, 5 miles distance. So money, distance, time, 5 hours is not a lot of time. So money, distance, time will be taken as single. Okay. Welcome to English language. There are a lot of quirks here. Okay. So see, the rules come from the way people use it. People don't use it by looking at the rules, right? So the native speakers of English, they use in a particular way. Based on that, the rules have been made. So things like distance, money, time. When you say $10 or 5 miles, they are treated as singular. But in this case, 10 gallons of milk will be treated as plural. Okay, great. Now let's look at the standing of the leaderboard. Okay, not many of them got this question, right? Let's see how we can solve this one. Under the new leadership, the economics of this country, okay, this is something that I've explained in the concept class. Economics itself is singular. Economics is my favorite subject. You cannot say economics are my favorite subject, right? Economics is my favorite subject. But when you say economics of something, then it becomes plural. Okay, so economics of something is plural. This is their as part of the concepts. Economics of something is plural. The politics of this is plural, but politics is singular. Okay, you can say politics is my favorite subject, but you cannot say politics of this country and follow it up with singular. The economics of something, politics of something, they require a plural to follow them. So under the new leadership, the economics of this country seem to be in disarray, but a large number of voters, okay, a number of, this we have seen, right? A number of and the number of. A number of and the number of. If it is the number of, we go for singular. A number of, we go for plural. So, but a large number of voters, so we have to go for plural in this case, right? So a large number of voters believe, because it is plural, I have to go for the plural verb form. Believe that recovery is possible. The Prime Minister as well as his cabinet of ministers, okay, as well as his cabinet of ministers is only secondary. It's adding to the main subject, that is the Prime Minister, which is singular. So I should look for a singular verb form. So the Prime Minister is accountable for the situation. So we have 2, 2 and 1. So that should be the answer for this question. Type C if you're clear with why we're going for 2, 2, 1 for this question. Great. How many of you are able to recollect a lot of concepts that I've discussed in the concept classes? Type me in the chat box if you're able to discuss, if you're able to recollect a lot of concepts that we discussed in the concept class. When you look at the question, you're able to recollect, yes, this was actually discussed in the concept. Great, good. So with that, we have come to the end of the session. And if you haven't liked the video, please do like the video. It helps us to reach more students. So just click like button that you see under this, and do subscribe to our channel in case you haven't subscribed it. We do upload some videos now and then which are related to CAT, which can definitely help you guys. Okay, so I'll catch up with you guys in the next session. See you guys. Good night.